Hey guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Coffin Hero Show, the second part, of course, going through the single issues new into the store this week. So it'll be the usual mixture of variants, DC titles, Marvel titles, and the comics titles, and everything in between. So we'll kick things off with the variants, of which there are a decent chunk of this week, going right across all the companies. So we kick things off with Batman Superman World's Finest, number 26. This is part of the Artist Spotlight variant series by Jim Lee. It always does slightly amaze me when it's a character that has nothing to do with the title. Beautiful image, but it's Aquaman on Batman Superman. Go figure. Next up is the foil logo variant cover. Now this makes a bit more sense for a Batman Superman World's Finest title, which is the foil logo variant there. This will actually just be sold as a set because this is a connecting series. So what we have here is the first three titles from the Ghost Machine guys. So Rick Exodus, Geiger, and Redcoat. And this is a lovely connecting cover. Hopefully you can see it here. Done by Ivan Rice across the three titles. So it's all the number ones. So this will just be sold as a set as opposed to individual titles. For the simple reason is you just know you're going to sell two of them but not sell the other one, which would be frustrating. Next up is the retailer incentive, 1 to 25 for this week's Nightwing. So issue 113, which is also Legacy issue 300. That's Bruno Redondo. DC, of course, following in the footsteps of Marvel, just like Marvel following the footsteps of DC and vice versa. They copy each other all the time. So I suppose it's no surprise that given we're already 4 issues deep into the Marvel Secret Wars facsimile collection, we're now doing Crisis on Infinite Earths, and of course we're doing foil as well. So the foil variant there. Next up is a retailer incentive 1 to 50 variant for Avengers Twilight number 5. It's a testament to how many of this series we order and how much we love this series that we qualify for this variant. Beautiful Virgin cover there by the artist Cafu. Next up is Ultimate Black Panther 3. We have a Joshua Cassara variant cover for that. And as well as the Cassara one, we also have a Boss Logic cover, which is pretty special as well. Actually, I took one of those myself. I think they're class. And then to finish things off, this week sees the release of an Assassin's Creed one-shot called The Fall, of which we got a couple of variants in, as well as the main title. So these are one-shots, thicker, square-bound issues. So by Patrick Bouton-Gagné, first of all, we have the first variant cover. Then we have a variant cover by Carl Kerschel. We finish off with a collaboration between Carl Kerschel and Cameron Stewart as well. So that's the variant side of things. So we jump from there and into the world of DC. So this week we have the release of Batman Offward. We're as far as issue 4 now for the Jason Aaron Doug Mankey. I have to prove how much of a badass I am by going halfway across the galaxy Batman title. Say that 3 times fast. Next up, Batman Superman World's Finest. I of course showed you some variants there. This is the cover A done by the incomparable Dan Moore. And we're up as far now as issue 26. Mark Waid and Dan Moore continuing on that. As well as the foil editions for Crisis on Infinite Earths to celebrate the 40th anniversary. We also have the traditional facsimiles in as well. Next up is Green Lantern War Journal. We're as far as issue 8 for this one. Phil Kennedy Johnson continuing on with expanding the Green Lantern mythos. A new issue this week of John Constantine Hellblazer, Dead in America. Definitely giving me Preacher vibes, this cover. We're up as far as issue 4. Cy Spurrier and Aaron Campbell. I just mentioned there, of course, for the variant for Nightwing, this is the main cover A. The 1 to 25 is a Virgin variation of this, whereas this is obviously full logo, trade dress, and all the rest. We have Superman in this week. We're up as far as issue 13 for Joshua Williamson's Superman. And this, of course, is tying into the House of Brainiac storyline along with Action Comics. And we finish off then with Titans issue 10, Tom Taylor continuing on that. Move away from there and on to Marvel. So first up we have Amazing Spider-Man 255 facsimile. So again, they're continuing on during the Black Suit saga, if you will. And continuing to put out the facsimiles of that. We have a new issue this week of Beware the Planet of the Apes. We're up as far as issue 4 now for the 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Studios crossover with Marvel Comics. We have Dead X-Men as far as issue 4, Steve Fox writing on there. Again, we're continuing, of course, to the fall of the House of X, the end of the Krakoan era and so forth. So we're up as far as issue 4 then of Fall of the House of X. Next up is Ghost Rider Final Vengeance. Benjamin Percy continuing on with the new Ghost Rider title as it searches for a new mantle. From there we have Giant Size Hulk. So these are all one-shots. We've already shown off like Giant Size Fantastic Four, for example, and Spider-Man. It's 50th anniversary of the Giant Size format, so they're putting out these cool one-shots to honour the occasion. We have Miles Morales Spider-Man up next. We're up as far as issue 19. Cody Ziglar and Federico Vincentini continuing on that. Move away from there on to Roxxon Presents Thor. Now this is a number 1. I believe it's linked to the Immortal Thor though. So anybody who's on the Immortal Thor, we haven't put this in your box because it is a separate title. But just be aware that I believe it is linked to the two. Al Ewing, of course, writing, Greg Land on art. Next up we have Spectacular Spider-Man. Now this week sees the release of issue 2 for the Miles Morales Peter Parker team-up series, but we also got in the second prints of issue 1. So if you're playing catch-up, we can sort you out with both. As I say, 2 is the new issue this week. Next up is Star Wars Mace Windu, where as far as issue 3 then, Mark Bernardin continuing on with the Mace Windu mini-series in the world of Star Wars. Next up we have Ultimate Black Panther 3, so continuing on the Ultimates line, continuing on the Ultimate Universe. We have Ultimate Black Panther as far as 3, so it's on 3, Spider-Man's on 3, X-Men has 2 issues so far. Obviously we ordered big on that, given the Ultimate stuff is doing very, very well at the moment. We also got in the third printings for issue 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man, Peach Momoko on varying cover duty there. And that brings to an end Marvel. On to the indie stuff. So first up we have Animal Pound. So as far as issue 3, Tom King and Peter Gross continuing on their loose adaptation of Animal Farm. I've mentioned the Assassin's Creed The Fall, so of course this is the cover A for that one shot for all you Assassin's Creed fans out there. Next up is one I'm looking forward to myself. This is a new series called Blow Away, written by Zach Thompson with art by Nicola Izzo. Going to be a 5-issue mini-series, I believe, released through Boom Studios. But again, I've heard some really promising things about that, so looking forward to tucking into that myself. Next up is Cobra Commanders, speaks for itself. Part of the Energon universe, of course. We're up as far as issue 4 out of 5. Joshua Williamson writing and Andrea Milana on art. We managed to source some Dawn Runner number 1s again, first prints. So Ram V and Evan Kegel's new mech title, fantastic issue 1. So we managed to get a limited number of the number 1s back in stock. Next up is a title I don't know a lot about, but I've got one for myself because of course I do, because it's written by Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder and Jamal Egel on art. This is called Dudley Datson and the Forever Machine, so it looks like a cool all ages title from Snyder. Next up we have Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2. So again, another mini-series following up, of course, the successful first series between Godzilla and Power Rangers. This should have been out a couple of weeks ago, but we're finally just getting our copies in. Hack Slash Kill Your Idols. Hack Slash, of course, is a Tim Seeley Image title. Every so often a wee one-shot pops up. Recently there was a Zoe Thorogood series as well, but this is just a one-shot to celebrate 20 bloody years of the title. Next up we have a new issue of Spawn, so we're up as far as 352. Fair play to Todd McFarlane for how far you've went in this. Although I say that, it's Rory McConville writing Spawn, and it is Brett Booth on art. And then just to finish off, we have a new issue this week of The Walking Dead Deluxe number 87. Again, just one of the very best titles in comics. So there you go, guys. That's all of the single issues out this week. Keep in mind, as I say, Free Comic Book Day is coming soon. So a couple of weeks away. I might put a wee video out on that, start showing off some of the titles as well over the next 2 weeks, just to get you guys pumped for that. And of course, again, there'll be plenty of discounts and promotions and bits and pieces on the day. So until then, I hope you're glad to have me back on your screens. I hope this has proved useful and helped you catch up with what's out this week. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys in store soon. So until then, take it easy.